Hi, this is Vaughan at westcoastbellpottery.ca. The following clips are from videos I recorded before Christmas. I'd never used them, so I'm just putting them together in here just to show you the pieces. Let me know what you think, make comments and such, and I'll get back to you. Hope you enjoy it. Hey, this is a kiln loading that I'm unloading, and it's not even Christmas yet, so I won't post this for 2 or 3 weeks. So Happy New Year, guys. I have some pieces in here from some experiments and things like that, so I just wanted to show you them. This is those set that I sprayed with the vegetable oil to stop them drying out too fast. It worked, except, as I said in a previous video, all was great except for one piece. So I would recommend spraying these twice with vegetable oil, and then maybe you'll get 8 out of 8. Like I got 7 out of 8. But this is folk art white on white clay with my apple green on the edges. That's very pretty. And this is what I was hoping to show you. This is that purple, which has turned out to be a really good chattering glaze. So, because it shows the chattering really well. And these are actually, I'm going to make some little candy dishes for Christmas to give out to people. So we'll have these in various colors. Fill them full of chocolate. And there's another one. So that purple is really remarkable, but the chattering is really clear in it, and that's what's nice about it. And it's got the jade over the top there. It's sort of gone blue, shiny blue there. I'm surprised. But that's my matte turquoise over the purple. Okay. Straight variegated blue. And there probably was some chattering on this, which got completely covered up because I did very thick variegated blue. I know I did on the edges there too. So that glaze covers up the chattering when it's on thick. But it's a really nice grey blue. The next layer down, more chattering results using the blue, green, copper, red, which is another spectacular glaze for the chattering. Really shows it up well. Yeah, I enjoyed getting those tools because I've never been the guy that did a lot of chattering, but so it kind of gave me a new lease on life for some new work, I guess. So we'll see where it goes. And then it's after mugs, this bowl sells really well for me, except I didn't do the little marks on it for the chopsticks, but I make these as noodle bowls. And that's matte turquoise with variegated blue and oatmeal over the top. And this is matte turquoise with apple green and oatmeal over the top. Bright blue, variegated blue and oatmeal, very traditional coloring from my studio. But it always looks nice and people love it. And the turquoise, the purple, showing the chattering again, so really excellent for chattering there. And then the variegated blue and oatmeal over the top, and I did oatmeal on the inside to give a nice, and look at the rim is really nice on that. Now variegated blue with oatmeal over the purple has a pinkish hue to it, tint I should say, but that's nice. And I did a whole bunch of these as test pieces using Harris 10 McCoo, and it actually coming out quite nice as 10 McCoo there. But it didn't make the black lines which I was hoping for going down the edges. But that's with variegated blue over the top as well. The next layer down. Oh, that's interesting. Wow, I don't know quite what happened there. There's some yellow appeared. Very weird. Yep, there's a mystery. Well, I'm never going to solve it probably. But it's another one where I sprayed the vegetable oil on the handles, but that's bright blue, variegated blue and oatmeal with a little detailing with some cranberry, and I don't remember what the other one is. I usually do 2 glazes going across these little wobbly lines. I like them to be wobbly. And a whole bunch of mugs. I'm starting to stockpile mugs for next year. Turquoise, matte turquoise. I'll just pick out a couple. Bright blue, really nice traditional bright blue for me. And then we got some Tenmaku gold and the variegated blue. That's pretty standard as well. Here's some of the new ones in the speckle clay. This is the turquoise, the purple with the variegated blue over the top. And the purple is really working well over textures and fluting, because you can see some kind of lines which I don't know quite how that's happening. Maybe that's just dribbles. Anyway, that glaze is not the purple I was expecting, and I'm very happy it wasn't, because I thought it would be a real purple. This is definitely a nice purple, and it works better, I think, over the speckle clay. I was just in either Mastering Cone 6 Glazes, or it was in John Britt's book, I can't remember which. Nice. And the rest are the same. The last one down is a lot of Harris Tenmaku. As I said, I was experimenting with it, and it's actually looking good over the texture, over the chattering there. So that worked. Color-wise, there's a little reddish showing through there. And I think what's going to happen with this, if it's on thick, this glaze might actually end up being much more of a reddish glaze. But you've got nice kind of lines showing through on the inside. This is what I like about Tenmaku, when you get the brown and the sort of black, dark brown kind of mixture. So this Harris is actually working out really nice. I've never really played with it very much. I might do some tests in the little test kiln with that one this winter. There it is. Instead of the Tenmaku gold, I'm doing it with the Harris, with variegated blue and oatmeal. But there you got that little bit of red hinting when it looks a bit thicker there. And again there. In fact, that is where the oatmeal is overlapping that glaze without the variegated blue interfering. So, so there's something to play with. And on the inside, nice again. It's a much darker Tenmaku, I think, than the Tenmaku gold. And that's another one of the same there. And there's another one with the chattering, really showing the chattering up well. I hope the light's catching these. And then I have some more mugs. This is another shape mug I just made. Somebody asked me to make this shape, and that worked out very nice. That's a really pretty mug. That one is nice too. That's Harris Tenmaku again, with a variegated blue. Oh, here's, this was an order. Somebody wanted my old waxing brown. I don't use it. It's in the Mastering Cone 6 Glaze book. I don't use it very much because I've decided it's a little muddy as a brown color. But it does have variation to it. But somebody ordered that little picture. They sent me a photo of one they bought years ago, and then it must have broken because they wanted another. And here's another one of the Harris Tenmakus. And then we have a whole bunch more Harris. Very dark. See how dark that Tenmaku is? Same again here. The fluting shows through, texturing with the Harris, that's nice. And then the fluting line edges are going lighter than the middle bit area. I thought it might end up with a black area where it was thin. Similar again, another drinking tumbler. And then you get a little shot glass almost. I had the last few pieces to fire from a whole batch of glazing that I did. I'm kind of starting from scratch again now, so let's see what we have in here. Okay, so here, this is that new purple. I liked it better on the smaller pieces, I must say. It's got oatmeal on the center area down here, and this is the straight purple. So the oatmeal makes it go a sort of pinky, dusty pink, dark dusty pink, I would say. But you can see it's a good glaze for chattering because it shows everything through. And that kind of indicates if I added some different colorants, we could get different colors and a good glaze to use for chattering. Any texture basically, and a bunch of these mugs, we've seen lots of these. That's why I fired this kiln. People are waiting for these mugs. It's a muggy Christmas. Next layer down we got another blue, green, copper, red, which is a terrific glaze for texture. Some people mix this up with a reduction glaze, but it's oxidation blue, green, copper, red, which I got off the internet. I mean, it's not a glaze I made up. And a bunch more mugs. These lettering ones are all orders, that's why I had to get it through quick, because they only have 2 weeks to go before Christmas now. Wow, this is interesting. This doesn't usually do this in unless I do a special firing, but we've got some reds coming out there. And this, I think, is the Harris 10 McCoo. So in this firing schedule I do on this, it's actually giving me a little bit of red, which is nice because it's still brown away. This was fired that way round, so that's away from the elements and that's to the elements. So I've had a couple of discussions with people recently about what's causing that. But the center of the kiln cools slower than the outside of the kiln. But anyway, that is a nice surprise. And a little bit on this one too. This is Harris 10 McCoo, which tends to go a kind of a funny brown, let's say, which is why I don't use it very much. But if it goes red, it's really nice. And we've got a little bit of that showing through there. So maybe I fire these on the inside of the kiln next time and see whether it's red most of the way around. Here's some more Christmas presents for people with the lettering. This won't get posted till after Christmas. This will be in some video, so these people already had their mug and they can see it come out for Christmas. So this is for somebody called Jeffrey. I think he's in Toronto. Yeah, I'm shipping all those to Toronto. I got a bunch of them. And there's some more 10 McCoo golds. And this is another bakery mug. And this is for somebody called Kelty Roo, also in Toronto. Okay, this is the last layer down in the kiln. And another one of this is just bright blue on its own, and it's got the chattering on the rim, so it's a good textural glaze too. And then it's the normal. Should show these just so that this is also going to Toronto, and this is for Papa. This is a different one. This is for somebody called MK. This is a man who ordered lots for all of his Christmas presents to people in Toronto. This is Uncle Bruce. And this is somebody called Bear. So you now have your Christmas presents already and you just saw it come out of the kiln. This is Graham. And this is Lauren. And I think that's all of them because these are for a local shop. This is a little place in Petite Riviere called River House. which is a knitting shop. And this one is for Liddy. Alright. Well, that's it for that kiln load. Okay, this is the second kiln. I'll go through these quickly because they actually are somewhat similar to the last set. This is a chattering effect on matte turquoise. So even though I don't think it did a great job, it shows the texture quite well. I love it when they get dark and light, and this is not that contrasty, but it gives you a nice texture, that's for sure. I've got to find some better glazes for the texturing. Same here. It's definitely it'll give your eyes something to look at when you're picking a bowl up and you turn it upside down, which is what everybody does. And when I was at craft fairs, my mug with my tea would be sitting there, and I had to be very careful because it was tipped over many times as people picked it up to look underneath. And there's the blue. You can get the light just right. So that picks up the texture a little bit as well. Got a nice interesting surface look. So once again, these are just bright blue, variegated blue and oatmeal. That one showed it quite well. Variegated blue and oatmeal over bright blue on speckled clay. Here's some little tumblers. I took an order for a few tumblers, so I made a whole bunch. They're nice, they fill the kiln nicely when you make little things like this, so makes your firing efficient. This is that new shaper mug somebody asked me to make for them, so I made a bunch of those. And they've been selling quite well, except the lady hasn't come in for the one she ordered. But it's busy, it's Christmas. This one I fluted, and I'm not sure if you can catch this in the fluted area, but the fluting has parallel lines in it. Hope you can see that in the video. It's quite nice. It's a different tool for fluting. I've been cleaning my studio all day, for 2 days actually. This is for the barn in my home bay. I do these and he orders hundreds of these. So I'll do you a video tour once I clean my studio and it looks nice again. See, the comments always work because somebody said your studio looks just as untidy as mine. So I thought I better clean my studio. But it's Christmas and now it's too late really for orders, so I'm starting to clean. And there's the fluted lines again, if you're catching the light there. Little parallel lines within the fluting, it's quite nice. And here's another set, next layer down. Speckle clay, there's the texture with the fluting. Bill just sent me some new tools, so I'm going to try those out when I get on the wheel again, which will be another day or two. But some different chattering tools. That's a nice bowl. And look at the texture on the underside. It adds another dimension to your work, I think. Yeah, these three bowls turned out very nice. And there's a different style of texture from the chattering tools. Oh, this is interesting and totally unexpected. I glazed this piece and the glaze that was up here fell into the bowl and gave me a abstract bowl. That's interesting. Didn't expect that. It didn't really fall off, nothing on the shelf. Didn't fall off on the outside, but on the inside it was dipped this side and then this side, and this side just lifted up and fell in. They were having a party in my kiln. Right. That's dark blue as well. It's a little dull on the speckled clay. This is a commission. Somebody wanted a shaving mug, so I've made 4 of these for them to look at. Just put a piece of soap in there and you brush it all around. noodle bowl. Oh, that texture's nice. Subtle within the glaze. Another shaving mug. That one would look nice with all the cream whipped up in there. This shelf is just all the same mugs for the barn. Yeah, so so I won't show you this whole shelf. It's just repetition basically. For these are like big 16. They're supposed to hold 16 to 18 ounces, and there's a few of these tumblers in here as well. This is oatmeal with folk art white and apple green over the top. That's it for that. And I'll have another bunch of these bowls. These turned out nice. It's actually on speckled clay, so the technical gold is not showing up very goldy, and it doesn't show the. Oh, wait a minute. This might be Harris. No, I think. No, it's technical gold. Yeah, because you can tell from the inside you've got some gold flecks appearing. But it's darker when you use the speckled clay. It always looks so much nicer, in my opinion anyway, on the white clay. But the speckles are there, just don't get the lightness of the technical gold in the background a bit. Noodle bowls, which sell really well. This is that new purple that I mixed up, which is actually more of a lavender violet maybe than purple, but you know, it's a light purple for sure, and the texture shows up very nicely with it. And the texture shows up on that one really nice too. And nice texture on that bowl too. But I think when I start doing some pieces after Christmas, I don't have a lot of white clay, that's the problem. I made a mistake and got lots of speckled clay for the winter months, but I do have some anyway to play with. All little tumblers. Folk art white, apple green, bright blue, variegated blue. Alright, so that's the end of that kiln. As you can see, it's getting pretty stormy out there. Still very grey, very windy. It's not a day to go outside and do any filming, that's for sure. This is the river port view that I show you quite often. It's getting pretty high tide at the moment. Very windy, as you can hear probably. The waves are crashing down here on my rock wall, which is only a few feet away below me. Anyway. Nothing's ever happened in 12 years.